can help you prepare, pump, and thrive. My name is Patrick Dolphin. I'm the National Account Manager for Cimilre Breast Pumps. Joining me live on stage is Jackie Penda, who is our Senior Product and Ops Specialist. And joining us in the chat is Tab Young, who is our Marketing Manager. So she'll be monitoring all your questions and comments. Hopefully everybody's having a great week. We're excited to be here. Normally I would say happy hump day, but since it's Prego, I should probably say happy bump day. And yes, I have been working on my dad jokes now for 20 plus years. So hopefully I didn't steal that from somebody. And if you guys want to use it going forward, that's cool too. We've got a lot to get to over the next 25 minutes. So Jackie and I are going to get into it. We invite you to join our booth afterwards for any follow-up questions that you may have, because our ability to take questions during this is probably going to be a little bit limited. So Jackie, if you just want to introduce yourself real quick, and then we'll get going.
Thanks, Pat. So hello, everyone. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. My name is Jackie Penda, and as Pat mentioned, I'm a Senior Product Success Specialist and Certified Lactation Counselor here at Cimilre. Part of my role is to provide breast pump support along with the virtual sizing consultations, and we'll touch a little bit more about that later. But you know, it's my passion, and the team at Cimilre, we're all very passionate about supporting families during all stages of pumping. So with that, I think we're going to jump in, Pat, right?
Yep, sounds good. So what we're trying to get accomplished here in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to give a brief introduction into who Cimilre is and kind of just talk through the presentation itself, what we're trying to get accomplished with preparing, pumping, and then pumping and thriving in your pumping journey. I'm going to send it back to Jackie. She's going to talk about how to choose a pump. There's so many options today. It's got to be overwhelming for you as moms. And so she's going to give you some tips and tricks on how to best choose which pump will work for you and your lifestyle. She'll throw it back to me. We'll go over pumps specifically within the Cimilre portfolio. We have 5 now, double electric pumps plus a manual pump. And then I'll throw it back to Jackie to kind of wrap things up with some of our programs that are really going to help you thrive. Things to think about that not a lot of people actually do know about, like sizing, how important sizing is. And those are things that are going to definitely contribute to your overall success and make it more effective and comfortable at the same time. So as I mentioned, we're pumping with power. We're going to talk about preparing for your pumping journey, the pump itself, as well as thriving. And I know sometimes when I read the title Pumping with Power, I was going to think, oh, it's all about suction strength. And although our pumps are plenty strong enough with great high-end suction, we're really talking about giving you the power to make good choices in your pumping journey that's going to maximize your time. It's going to maximize your comfort, but most importantly, it's going to be as effective as possible, because that's the ultimate goal, is to maximize your production so you can help your baby thrive. So when we talk about prepare, there's a couple things to think about. When you prepare for your journey, you know, a lot of it's going to be about the pump itself, which is true. It's a very integral part. And there's a lot of things to think about that Jackie will kind of talk about in choosing that pump, meaning, you know, how and where will you be pumping? Is it going to be at home? Are you going to be more stationary? And we think of our pumps in terms of kind of stationary versus portable or secondary. And then the other thing to think about is, you know, how are you going to get your pump? Are you going to get it through insurance? Are you going to put it on your registry? Are you going to use an HSA, FSA benefit, or even just pay cash? You know, one of the things that I do, the majority of my job, is working with durable medical equipment companies so that they can provide Cimilre as an option for you to get your pump through insurance. So like part of our goal is also to make pumps that address every niche within the breast pump lifestyle. But we've also got to give our DME partners options so that they can maximize the number of pumps they can offer that are no cost, or at least minimize the cost out of pocket if there is an upgrade. So getting that pump through insurance is definitely a consideration. Most insurance plans will allow you to get your pump 60 to 90 days in advance of the actual birth of your baby. So we definitely encourage you to kind of contact your insurance provider and a partner DME in a timely manner so that you can get that pump. You can kind of become familiar with it so that, you've got a lot of stuff going on leading up to the birth of your baby and after, that you're at least comfortable with the process and you've got the equipment that you need in order to kind of get started. The pump itself, obviously, the pump's got to work. It's got to be effective. And like I said, we have a great portfolio of products that gives you options, whether it's primary or portable. Our primary pumps give you ultimate control over your pumping sessions. You can control cycle speed and suction strength independently, which just allows you to achieve a better stimulation, to allow milk to flow and let down to occur as quickly as possible to maximize your milk production. And lastly, we want you to thrive, right? People say, oh, this is so natural, but everybody, and I'm sure there's going to be comments here, and first-time moms don't know what they don't know, that, hey, this isn't always easy, right? And so it's not just the pump. And Jackie's going to talk about some things that are going to make that journey a lot easier. But we want you to thrive because we want this to work for you. Like, that's what our mission is, to make it as easy and as comfortable as possible. And we're all, as Jackie said, all passionate about it. So there's some cool programs that we have that are related to the pump, but not pump specific, that I think will really kind of enhance your journey. So with that said, I know there's a million options on the market. We appreciate you taking a look at Cimilre, and Jackie's going to kind of walk through some things to think about as you choose a pump.
Thanks, Pat. So I was kind of perusing the chat here as Pat was introing, and I've seen so many of you moms say how overwhelming this process is, and this is true. I mean, I think somebody had mentioned this is like a new job orientation, becoming a mom and entering parenthood, and just specifically to breast pumps. It's a whole other world. So, we're here to try to, take some of the confusion out of it for you, try to give you as much information as we can during this time, and kind of just make you feel a little bit more at ease with all of the options available to you. So with that said, how do you choose a breast pump, right? And there's so many choices out there, and you don't know which one is best, right? Everyone says, well, which is the best one? And to that point, there's really no best. I mean, you don't know what is going to work for you, what's going to work best for you. So the most you can do is try to educate yourselves as much as possible and figure out what pump will work for you depending on your personal situation. And I'm sure you're going to have a provider or a friend or a sister telling you, oh, well, I used this pump and this one was the best. And well, this one was the best for me because XYZ. And that's great. And it may have worked, great for them. But again, your specific experience and your pumping journey may look a little bit different than theirs. So that's why education is key, trying to gather as much information as you can prior to getting your pump or ordering your pump is really what we recommend most. So, some of the questions you want to ask yourself here. Again, back to the best pump is determined by your individual needs and your individual wants, right? So how often will you be pumping? So that's a big question. It's very concerning if you're going to be somebody who's traveling a lot and you only have a plug-in option. So that's something to keep in mind. We offer various models, and most of them, 4 out of the 5 models that we have built-in rechargeable batteries. So our S6 and our S6 Plus model, that's the only differentiator. Our S6 is a plug-in only option, whereas the S6 Plus features the plug-in and built-in rechargeable battery. Thanks, Pat. So that's something to keep in mind. Where will you be pumping is another major question. Will you be going back to work? Are you going to be traveling with your pump? Will you be pumping at home sporadically? So that's another thing to ask yourself. Utilizing more than one pump. So Pat briefly touched on this, but something to keep in mind. Some people like to have a pump at home and one for on the go. So that kind of gets back to that primary versus secondary pump. Some people like to start out, and we recommend, really like focusing in on a primary pump, especially if you're a first time pumper. It can be a whole world, as we mentioned, with the pump. So, kind of getting the hang of the primary pump. And then sometimes people will use their HSA or purchase a secondary pump out of pocket to have another option. Again, this is all looking at tools in your toolkit to improve your breastfeeding and breast pumping journey for as long as you're intending that to go. So we talked about the primary, secondary, size, pump size. Is that important to you? Some people really find that they want an itty bitty pump. I mean, we have a couple of really great options. Thanks, Pat. We've got our P1 there with that cute star skin. And then our E1 is the size of a Post-it note. So, I mean, talk about size. We've got various options when it comes to size. And that's something to keep in mind. Some people really want the option to pop that pump in a pocket and be able to be really mobile with the unit. So that's something to keep in mind. Simplicity or more control, that kind of goes back to the adjustable settings that our models offer, S6, S6 Plus. So a pump with adjustable suction strength and cycle speed settings that allows you to really customize your pumping experience, really hone in on what works best for you. And the more suction and cycle levels a pump offers, the more comfortable and effective your pumping experience will be. Battery operated. So I talked about that. That's just a huge feature. I think that's probably the biggest feature that most people will ask about is this pump. Does it have a built-in battery? So that's something to keep in mind, having your battery charged. I mean, it's also something important to keep in mind if your power goes out, having a fully charged battery really comes in handy in those situations as well. It's also a good idea to speak to a lactation professional before ordering a pump to help guide you to make the best decision based on the available options. So some people, depending on the durable medical equipment provider that your insurance works with, will offer you X amount of pump options depending on your insurance plan. And then what you could do is take those choices that you have and then speak or reach out to a lactation professional to help determine what one might be best for you if you need help. And of course, feel free to reach out to Cimilre at any point during that process. We'd be happy to educate you regarding the models that we have and what one of those models may be best for you. So I'm going to throw it back to Pat now, and he's going to get into a little bit more specifics regarding our pump models.
Cool. Thanks, Jack. Yeah. So as Jackie was saying, we think about our pumps in terms of size and shape and the ability to control each pumping session. So we've been in business in the Southeast Asia, Australia market for over 20 years now. We've been a leader there. We launched in the US only in 2021. So we're just celebrating our fourth birthday. But the product that we launched originally was the S6 and the S6 Plus product. They are exactly the same pump. The only difference is the S6 Plus has an internal rechargeable battery, as Jack holds up that one. And you also notice that mine has a really cool skin. We've got 12 different patterns for each of our pumps, so you can customize to fit your own personality, show your own flair, so to speak. So it's a fun time. We want to make it a little bit more funner, if funner is a word. But the reason we launched this one, and we consider this our flagship product, because it gives you the most control over both cycle speed and suction strength independently. So right now, if you can really see my screen, you've got an icon there that says that I'm in massage mode. It tells me what cycle speed I'm at, and it tells me what level I'm at. So I can control each individually. So right now, my cycle speed, and cycle speed is really referring to how fast the pump is suckling, if you will. It's imitating baby at breast as much as possible. So right now, the cycle speed is 60. I can increase that up to 80 cycles per minute in 5 cycle increments. And where that is important is that's really the stimulation that's going to help you achieve that letdown. There's a lot of other products that are on the market where you can't adjust that cycle speed. And when we had our testing moms test this pump, they felt like that was the game changer. That stimulation was enough to say, hey, I achieved letdown quicker. I may have produced more milk because of that. And that's why I think this is probably the pump that I always lead with, especially when we're at the Prego Expos in person. It's great to be able to show folks that and kind of explain why that's important. So this is probably our leading primary pump. The second pump that I always show as a primary is our S7. And full disclosure, this is a award winner. Last year, it won the 2024 Breast Pump Technology Innovation Award. And the reason it did is because it has two motors. So you can control each side independently. It also works as your traditional double electric pump. So if you want to just pump double electric and you like this shape and this size and you think, hey, maybe it's a little bit more portable, that's perfectly a legitimate reason to choose this pump. But if you feel like, hey, being able to stimulate one side differently than the other, and I'll give you two examples, is important, then this is a great product and it's innovative. Not a whole lot of pumps give you that option. So two situations where I highlight the fact where this may be helpful. If you are pumping and maybe you have and maybe you're sharing time pumping and baby at breast, if you have cracked nipples or any type of sensitivity on one side, this allows you to choose a different stimulation for that side that's been affected. The other thing is there's a term out there. Some people have heard it, some people won't. The slacker boob. One side produces differently than the other. So if you want to get that slacker boob up in production, you can change the comfort settings accordingly so that you can stimulate that in a different fashion with the idea that production is going to be increased. So those are our two, I think, primary pumps. Not that the suction drops off with the portable pumps, the P1 and the E1. They all have the same high-end suction at 285. So they're going to be plenty strong enough. And I think that's the one thing that people, they're like, oh, it's great that it's so small. And then they're like, oh, it's so small. Is it really going to work? And they both perform great. They just give you less ability to control the cycle speed and the suction independently. So they both kind of work off an algorithm where the stronger the suction, then the machine is actually choosing the cycle speed for you based upon that suction level. So you lose a little bit of control, but you gain a whole lot of portability. So again, that's where Jackie's focus of how are you going to pump, where are you going to pump, really factors into choosing the pump that's going to work for you and your lifestyle. The other beauty about our overall portfolio is all of our pumps use the same parts and pieces. So they're ultimately interchangeable. So when people come to me and say, hey, what would you recommend in terms of pump through insurance? I'm always saying, hey, get the best possible primary pump that you can, and then maybe put one of the smaller options on your registry, or use your HSA, FSA benefit in order to get a complementary product so that you can maybe leave one at work or in your bag, and then the other one is the one that you're using primarily at home for most of your pumping sessions. So that's kind of it for our portfolio. In terms of products, we also have a manual hand pump, which I know is near and dear to Jackie's heart, and that's created a little bit for some state Medicaid, Texas Medicaid in particular, because that state is susceptible to weather emergencies. It's always great to have a pump where you don't need to charge the battery or electricity to run it. But all that said, with pumps, all that technology is great. Jackie's going to talk about some things that can really help you thrive in your pumping session. A lot of that is size, because that has been an important topic, and how size really impacts performance. So I'll throw it back to Jackie.
Thanks, Pat. And just briefly to Pat's point regarding our manual M1 pump. So this is the M1 handle. So what's really unique about this item here is that it works with any of our Cimilre pumps. It is interchangeable, again, with the bottle breast shield valve. All you do is purchase this handle, and that allows you to turn it into a manual pump. So that gives you full control over the pump. You pump one side at a time. It's not double electric. Really comes in hand, though, if there's an emergency situation, if you're somewhere you need to pump in a pinch and you don't want to bring along the double electric pump with you. So always a good idea to have a backup option, regardless of the pump model you're going with. All right, so some really, really, really fun stuff to talk about is sizing. And I think I saw a couple people talking about this earlier. It's not one size fits all when it comes to breast pumps, of course, and it's not always easy to figure out what size you are, or to know off the top of your head what size you are. And really honing in and getting the correct shield fit for you is extremely important in terms of maximizing your milk expression during a pump session, making sure that you're getting every single drop that you possibly can during that time that you're pumping. So what can happen is if you're using a size that's incorrect for you, we talk about just the right fit. So not a perfect science when it comes to pumping. The sizing is extremely important to determine kind of where you fall. And we have a really great offering here at Cimilre called Get the Right Fit. And we're kind of the pioneers. We're the first ones to do this here. So when you receive your pump, it comes with a card. We also have this handy dandy graphic. It's available on our website. You can print this off. You're able to cut this ruler out. Then it has some easy instructions on there. Once you cut your ruler out, you're able to size yourself. And I'm just looking here for my breast that went away. So I have, a nipple here that you would basically as easy as this to size yourself. So it's pretty straightforward. If you have questions, you can always call us, but we offer the Get the Right Fit to allow you to size yourself when you receive your pump. It comes, again, standard with the 21 millimeter and 24 millimeter size. If those two don't work for you, we recommend you utilizing our program so that you can achieve the right fit. So if you are having trouble figuring out, I don't know where I fall, I don't know how to size myself, we offer virtual shield sizing consultations. So that's a free 15-minute session. You can sign up right on our website, and we're able to walk you through sizing yourself and helping you to determine what shield size would be best for you. And the other sizes that we do carry are 32 millimeter, 28 millimeter, 19 millimeter, and 16 millimeter. So there's an array, 16 all the way up to 32 of sizes. And from there, we're able to help, really discover what what breast shield size is best for you, and also help kind of explain that it may not be the same for both breasts. So one side you may be a 19, and the opposite side you may be smaller, and that's completely normal. Some people have to use different shield sizes during their pumping journey on either side, so that's super common. And also sometimes during your pumping journey overall, you may start out with using one size, and then you eventually find that maybe you're not getting as much milk as you typically do. All your parts are replaced. Everything's, good to go, but you find that maybe you're sizing smaller. So that is also something that's common. It's good to kind of keep on top of that and be aware of how it fits for you. The comfort, that's really at the end of the day, the most important part when it comes to breastfeeding, breast pumping, is making sure that the fit is comfortable for you. So that is something that we're really happy to offer, and we're really passionate about educating and supporting our moms with getting the correct fit. So we offer that, again, the Get the Right Fit form to receive the complimentary set of shields. If you sized yourself and you don't have questions, you can go ahead and order those at your convenience. And then from there, if you needed additional help, we're happy to do so with the virtual sizing consults. We also carry our milk storage bags. I talked about our M1, the decals that you guys saw Pat modeling over there. And we have our Amazon store now. So you can find all of our parts and accessories really, really easily, either on the Cimilre website or on Amazon. So, we try to make it as accessible as possible for you to get your replacement parts and any additional accessories you may need to help make your pumping journey as easy as possible, that you're set up for success. All right, Pat, I think back to you.
Yeah, just to wrap it up, one other thing about just milk bags and milk storage and parts and pieces is increasingly insurance companies are providing those as a covered item. So definitely work with your durable medical equipment or home medical equipment provider to make sure that you're getting those benefits. You pay your premiums every month. You might as well maximize from your insurance. So definitely encourage you to do that. As we finish up here, definitely encourage everybody to join us at our open booth immediately following here. That way we can have a little bit more of a dialogue and back and forth versus Jackie and I just getting up here and presenting. But appreciate all you guys. We love the Prego Expo. It's great to interact with you folks and hopefully help you make good decisions that'll help your breastfeeding journey. So it's good for us. It's good for you. And we look forward to continuing this week, as well as seeing you guys hopefully in Dallas for our Texas folks here on the chat in about a month. So that's all we have, and we'll talk to you in the booth here shortly.
Come on over there for any of the questions that we didn't answer. We're happy to, answer those for you and dig in deeper. If you have any additional follow-up, please feel free to join us in the booth. It's a little bit easier to answer you guys there.